Good morning, everyone. I'm Old Dead Man, your host. After a false start last night, wherein my internet connection decided yesterday was a good day to die, I am back, and I am back with a vengeance here. I have managed to travel to a location that has an internet connection that can support full 1080p 60 frames per second streaming. So we're going to try this for the first time ever from this channel, the full HD dev server stream. So let's go ahead and get fired up here. And I've got looking for comments. I'm watching for everything that might be coming around. I do need to make sure that you guys can hear me all right. So please let me know in the comments. I'm watching. And also, let me know if the game audio is too loud, because if it's too loud, I can always get that shifted up and turn it down for you guys. Well, good morning, Michael. How's life treating you today? All right, I've got the patch notes up here. I've got the dev server up. I think we've got everything ready to take a quick look at everything coming in the next update here. Good morning, Depresso. I genuinely hope that the stream is not hiccuping like it was last night. Oh my heavens, that was awful. Thank you, Depresso. Glad to hear it. And all right, let's get rolling here. Is there any requests before I get started? Tell you that there's a bunch of known bugs in here. For one thing, I know for certain that the Tech Tree A10, which is an A-10a but a late model of it, is not in the dev server. It is how the A-10a early is, though. So we can get a pretty good idea of its performance here. And let's go ahead and get started. Now, we're going to just take the dev server notes right from the top to the bottom. Tons of bugs. Remember, numbers are not final. And all that kind of yada, 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 what's it. And, of course, they have added the new Israeli tech tree as the aviation will be available to all players regardless of whether you did the grinding for it. On top of that, Israel, would you look at that? Oh, that's just the H-64f being transferred over. Okay. The Army lineup here, though, is looking kind of interesting. You aren't going to see a whole lot of images, but there's a lot of familiar names right here, and we can take a quick look at what's coming down the Israeli ground tree in just a moment here. But we're starting off with the air tree here, because I'm going right down the patch notes to start with. So we got the Israeli air tree is now available to all players as of this. And they've added the F-84f Iaf Premium. And let's go ahead and take a look at that one. Let's go ahead and preview it. F-84f, garden variety. Looks like the numbers are relatively expected. Let's see what kind of secondary weapons it has. Pretty standard stuff. Looks like pretty straightforward stuff. By the way, where I went to set up for this stream, they've got this enormous monitor, which it's not that big. It's like a 32-inch, but it's 4K. And I'm sitting here looking at it and going, oh my heavens, I don't even know what to do with all this screen real estate. Anyway, so I've set it to 1080p, and we're just streaming at 1080p today. FFARs, HVARs. I mean, it's an F-84f. You're familiar with it from about every other tree in the game because everyone got an F-84f. It felt like. Over in the U.S., let's see. Over in the U.S., we've got the brand spanking new B-26B, which I gotta find. Where is the B-26B? There it is. And let's go ahead and preview that puppy. B-26B Marauder has got the, it's a beautiful aircraft. This is one of the iconic aircraft of World War II. Many stories, especially the early ones. The bit about there being one a day in Tampa Bay is a lie. It was about one every other day for a while there, but nothing exciting on that regard. Let me see, new game mechanics. Let's see if anything pops in here. That's weaponry, naval modifications, crew skills, and other. Fire extinguisher assistance is now available for all allies. Previously, it was only for squad mates and light tanks. Ships will now provide repair assistance automatically instead of by holding a button, since the assistance does not impose any restrictions on them. And let's see, tooltip. The other two are just tooltips. Doesn't look like there's any new mechanics just jumping out at me, but we'll go through the whole thing and see what we can find as we go. Okay, so the B-26 Marauder, let's see, secondary weapons real fast. A pretty garden variety little mix of weaponry there. The 4 1,000 pounders are probably what I'll carry because of the flexibility of it, but the 2,000 pounders looks fun. So let's go ahead and take this thing in for a test flight here. No, I do not do arcade, I do realistic. Let's see, gun targeting, that's fine, fine. Okay, go. You know, the A-10, I think, is currently sitting on the dev server at 9.7. And I took it for a test flight last night, and that thing turns on a dime. I know some people... Oh, that's right. I have not remapped my keys on this this dev server yet. I might have to do this. This is going to be exciting. You might be seeing some interesting airplane handling in a moment here, because none of the keys are what I normally map. I probably should have checked that before starting, but I was so excited to finally actually get the computer set up and the everything all plugged in and put together, and then to hit start streaming and have it come up with a full 9 megabits per second upstream. So this should be looking like a really pretty whoops, that is not the web key. There it is. There's the web key. Okay, that's good. Okay, gotta watch that. Okay, okay, got it. I was just really excited to get on, so I forgot there were a few details that I've not. This PC, this is the first time I've run the dev server on this PC. Now on my regular PC, because I had to transfer this PC to where I could actually do something with it. But my regular PC, I've actually transferred everything. It's already rolled. And, well, what can I say? We are now working with whatever we can find. See, for a plane of this size, it's about responsive as I would expect. Oh, Bombay. And drop a few bombs. That was way weaker than I expected, but it's also 100-pound bombs, so no surprise. Oh, did it again. Dang it, that's not my web key. Come on around. This time, you are going to blow up, Mr. Tank. That's correct. Whoops, that's not the right key again.
Good job. Target destroyed.
Sorry, this is really throwing me off. All my reactions are for a totally different set of keyboard mappings. And unfortunately, that does make it rather more sporty. Pull it around. Now this time you're going to die. Oh, for heaven's sakes, that was a direct hit. Man, 100-pounders are just worthless. What's funny is I've actually used 100-pounders to kill tanks just like this one before. So, I don't know. Maybe I just suck at bombing today. Okay, come on. There we go. Finally got it. For level bombing, you know, keep it slow and steady, and use your bomb sight. For dive bombing, you got to learn each bomb and how each bomb falls, and the speed at which you drop them at, because all those factors do change what it looks like, the visual picture. So I jump into like a practice session. I'll do a couple of test drops and make sure I'm not dropping them. Whoops, dang it, did it again. See, no air brake. Here, flaps sure I'm going to rip something off because... Yeah, this is way too fast. I think I just ripped my gear off. Yeah, I did. Did you get hurt? Throttle. Oh, gee. Okay, let's bring this around. No point even retracting here, honestly.
What do you have?
Can't see anything, sir. The coast is clear.
Come on, come on. Alright. Line, well, this is close enough to line up for what I'm trying to do. Which is merely get it somewhere in the vicinity of this airfield. Okay, yeah, there we go. Perfect landing. Absolutely perfect. Yeah, for bombing, it's practice. It really is. Practice with the bomb you're going to use, practice with the airplane you're going to bomb with. I just have some fun, and I try and go for the biggest boom so I don't have to aim too carefully close. But that's how it goes. Okay, so that's good for the B-26. We don't need to wait for it to repair. Let's pop back out. And next thing on the list, the A-10a Thunderbolt 2. So let's scroll on down here. Take a look at this. It's, you already know what to expect. I'm certain you guys see 50. It was a perfect landing. It was. They do have this multi-purpose weapon loadout on the A-10a, which is going to be fun. And that means they've actually explored asymmetric loadouts. Also good. There was some rumors that maybe they were looking at individually customizable pylons. Don't know if I believe that for this, because I would expect them to be testing that now, but so far, no indications of that. And I don't think they're going to abandon that new system just yet in favor of fully customizable pylons. The A-10, let's see. If you take this into a test flight, I'm just not even going to bother. What do I want? I'm going to throw... I'm not even keyboard mapped for 3/4 of these things. I'm just going to leave it clean, leave it slick wing. So I can just kind of show you what I expect is going to happen. Get my keys in the right order here. Let's throttle. Okay. A-10, beautiful aircraft. As I mentioned the other night, my father-in-law actually worked on it. He was in the Air Force. And he was very much a fan of the plane. And I can see why. Get this puppy off the ground. I was actually reading up on that there was actually over in Europe somewhere, I don't know where, they actually did practice this flying this off of improvised runways. And in the U.S., they actually took it off on a mile of highway. Good. Okay, game sounds too high. Yeah, get that fixed. Okay. Options, sound. That would be why. Boop. Good morning, Lucas. How's life treating you today? This guy actually, once he gets up to speed, turns really well. Let's get this thing kind of settled in for a moment or two. And that's not to say it turns well compared to a Spitfire. Though I would be entertained to see what would happen in an actual dogfight between this and a Spitfire. You pop in some flaps, and this thing rolls over nice and slick. Very nice. I could easily see using this in as a dogfighter in ground RB easily. It does tend to pull you down a bit when you start firing. Not a lot, but it does. Your nose drops a bit. Oh, gotta love the bird. No WEP on this, so you do have to manage your energy closely. But this guy will rip up this, I think it's a T-55, yeah, crazy. Yep, T-55. Oh, killed crew, killed the tracks, and a little bit of. As a reminder, they fire this thing in short bursts because technically, and it doesn't seem to be represented in War Thunder yet. Technically, if you fire this, it produces more thrust in reverse than the engines can produce in forward. So you have to fire it in short bursts, or you might actually shoot yourself out of the air by making yourself stall. That burst sounds beautiful, doesn't it? On my test flight the other night, up there it goes. Yeah, it only took 2 bursts to finish off that T-55. And goodbye, Mr. Gas AA. It flies nice. You get your speed up, go into a hard turn, and then pop the flaps, and this puppy rolls over so nice. I think you're going to surprise some turny-burny fighters, especially down those lower areas. I see no reason why this couldn't easily take on an F-80, maybe even an ME-262, because they're going to be at a similar energy as far as speed goes, but this thing I think will turn over better and faster than the 262 will. Okay, I can try to land it after the last landing. I'm not so sure that's a good idea, but we'll give it a shot. Air brake out. Okay, let me see. Flaps. By the way, there does not seem to be a combat flap setting, just a takeoff flaps, but it doesn't matter. It really pulls this thing around. Good gear. Okay, pull it down. All right, there we go. Very nice. And voila, down on the ground. Oh, you wanted to land it without gear? You should have told me that a second ago. Okay, string those off. Might as well reload my cannon before I take off again, because, hey, more burnt. But we'll come around for a gears up landing and see how it handles there. But yeah, it turns really well. Now, my suspicion is that the A-10 will drain energy quickly. So you're going to have to manage your energy. It has a lot of power in those engines, but it feels like, at least the way the flight model is right now, that those that they don't provide bursts of energy. So you don't get a WEP or an afterburner. Well, yeah, you've got the armored bathtub right about that the pilot sits in, which I don't remember what the key is for showing the armor in flight. Okay, take off. Nice and gentle. No problem getting this puppy off. Those straight wings are great for subsonic flight characteristics. That's the reason why you can get this thing going so low and slow and loitering. Okay, let's see. Pull it back around. Take some flaps. At this speed, it's holding its speed pretty well. I'm pretty impressed. Okay, let's see. Air brakes. Full flaps. Nice and belly it down. Not bad. Not bad at all. A question I have is, can it move itself when it's belly landed like this? Nope. Once it's belly landed, you are down and stopped. But yeah, belly lands real nice. Feels good. It really does. It feels real good. And one more Burt just for you guys. All right, let's return to hangar. Let's see, MG-23MLA over in Germany. See, and as I'm going, I'm trying to scan for any surprises that have popped into the tech tree. All right, MiG-23MLA. I don't think it'll be any surprises here, but let's go ahead and preview it. Yeah, pretty much what I expected there for the numbers and everything. No armor, some secondary weapons. Looking pretty good. Yeah, mostly air-to-air here, but it's got some ground ordnance. It just doesn't have a mixed load. And that kind of is what throws it for me. But should be a good aircraft for the Germans. By the way, I am just kind of going to move it along. If you want me to pause and look at something, let me know. I can always go back. It's okay. All right, so let's go ahead and preview the Su-22 M3K. 11.0 BR. What's its ordnance options here? I don't know. Feels a little something for 11. I don't know. I can't quite express it. It'll move along. It's 2190 kilometers per hour. Is the Su-22 performing that well over here in the Russian tree? It is 11.0 over there. I don't know. We'll think about that one for a bit. So that's the aircraft for Germany. Nothing, except for the B-26 so far, nothing else is low tier. So let's see. Russia gets a new cockpit for the MiG-21S. MiG-21S. 21, there it is. Let's see. I think they might, Lucas, but you know, that was just a rumor I heard. It's not anything I can. There's no official news on it, but it was talked about a bit. Look at this cockpit. You know, think about if you didn't have any experience in this, jumping into this and trying to figure out what in the world everything was, it would be a bear. Was this the aircraft I flew through? No, I think it was the Su-22. I flew through one of the hangars on a test there. I think they might. I think eventually it will have to come, because at some point in time, you can't really anticipate every possible combination. All right, so they got that new cockpit. You know what? Let me see if there's anything in here about the AIM-9L. So far, when I've checked everything, nobody's said that anything's got the AIM-9Ls. But that doesn't mean they haven't. It just means I haven't seen anything yet. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Weaponry section. A lot of fixes for weights. Nothing about the AIM-9L getting added to any new aircraft, at least not in these sections. By the way, I'm using the dev server thread there just to keep track of what's going on. So if you're on the forums, definitely jump over there to get a look at those. AIM-9C change for the Silver 42. Their Silver 42, AIM-9C, F8 loadouts. Let's pop over there. Secondary weapons. Well, they do have AIM-9Cs in here. What did they have before? That's the real question. Here. You know what? I don't even have to ask that question. I can just pop up the regular client here. Hang on a second while I double check. What do you want to know about the AIM-9Ds and the AIM-9Cs? Oh, change the model. Okay, I could see that. All right, so let's go take a look at that. Modifications. Used to know how to do that. Let's see. $9D launch load limit. Launch range and rear aspect. All I see is the maximum overload of 18 Gs. Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay, AIM-9Bs have a maximum overload during launch of 4 Gs, but there is none for the AIM-9Ds or the AIM-9Cs. So there you go. There you go. That's the scoop on that. Okay, let me see. Where was I? Oh, pop. I already did the MiG-21S. Oh, the Chinese J-8B. Now, I did when this came up in the dev stream. A bunch of people started saying 81192, and that's the number on the side of the J-8B. Let me go see if I can find it now. J-8B, where is it? J-8. Huh. But it looks like it's not. Well, it says it's supposed to be here. Where is it? J-8E. Oh, did they pull it out? Oh, you people. You're killing me. Not you guys. Gaijin. J-8E dev server. They're not talking about it, but I think from the context here, looks like they didn't have the J8B in this dev server, even though it's listed. So I wonder if that had to be pulled at the last minute. But the number 81192 is significant because that is the aircraft that was involved in a collision with an American reconnaissance spy plane, and the pilot of that aircraft has become, I think it's Wang Shui, Wang Wai, has become this almost cult legendary figure in Chinese culture. So they still celebrate him. They still make the kind of those missing end of watch type calls for those for that pilot and the whole 9 yards. Really interesting, but it looks like it's not in the dev server for China here, unless I'm missing it. But I'm not seeing it. So that makes it famous in its own right. Over in Italy, the F-104 ASA, SASA, I should say. I mean, it's an F-104. And it's got some air-to-air missiles. Ooh, the A-10a Let's see, air-to-air missiles, semi-active radar homing. Mach 4. Well, they're better than the AIM-9Ls as far as the speed goes. But they do have a 4G load limit, so you're gonna be using those when you can finally get somebody lined up at range. And they've got a much longer range than the AIM-9Ls, obviously. Interesting, interesting. Still, you'd be waiting a long time for your missile to impact at a 70-kilometer range. Whew. So, interesting, but not exciting. It's just Italy needed a top-tier jet, and that's what they got. It'll be interesting when that one comes in, that's for sure. All right, let's take a look at France. France only got the B-26C Marauder, which we've already kind of looked at. But let me just take a quick, fast look myself. It is rank 3, which helps out a ton. Makes it useful for more things than just staring at. Ordnance is the same. I think otherwise it's pretty much the exact identical aircraft. So yeah, B-26C. B and C are both basically the same in most respects. The differences were very minor when I looked it up for the dev blog, actually. Now let's go to the ground vehicles, and we're going to start off. Oh, let me see. Hold on. Where's that in here? There it is. Okay, great. We're going to start off with Israel. Look at their entire ground tree. So let's go ahead and pop over here. We got the M51, which is already familiar because there's the premium for it. An AMX-13, already familiar. We have that one already in the fridge tree. The Magach 1, again familiar. Magach 2, AML-90. The Schott. Let's go ahead and preview this guy. Cute little tank, 84 millimeter, 20-pounder cannon. That's the reload rate of 8.1, 11.9 second turn rotation. Armor's decent, but not anything to write home about. Good penetrating gun. I mean, no surprises really. It's a 7.3. Should do really well at 7.3, with the one exception that I believe, even though it says 35 kilometers per hour, I suspect that's for generous analysis of it. So that's good. Magach 6. Let's preview this puppy. It's an M60. Isn't it? That's exactly what it looks like. Magach 6. Okay, hold on. Okay, it looks like I had a brief hiccup on my internet here. This is one of the downsides of being in relatively rural areas, but it looks like it came back. So apologize for that hiccup. But hey, one hiccup I can deal with. Magach 6. Yeah, it's a modernized M60A1 or A3. Okay, there we go. Pop over here. Here we're back on the Magach. And, 105 millimeters at 7.7. If you like the M60, you're going to like this one. I've never been a fan of the M60 purely from the perspective of it never really performed well for me. And sorry for getting the comments mixed up there, because every time I switch screens to the web browser, it goes to whatever I was looking at, just grabbing that one little section there. Okay, there we go. And it says it's still going. Let me know if there's more hiccups on the stream, guys. All right, so yeah, the Magok 6, it's an M60. Is what it really comes down to. Let's see if there's anything unusual in its modifications. Not seeing like thermals or anything like that. It's got an APDS, but not an APFSDS, and a heat FS. So you're going to be fighting at those BRs with, I mean, the APDS will penetrate, and the heat FS will kill. But you're fighting more of the issues of those BRs. Should be good though. Should be good. Just it depends if you like the M60 or not. Tiran 4S. Let's preview this one. And that's, I mean, that's Russian. Okay. Let's go take a look here. Tiran 4S. Okay, all I'm getting is just information on models of the Tehran. So nothing really coming up in a hurry for me to look at. 105mm M68 cannon though. I don't know. This is a the turret shape's throwing me off. It really is. So let me see. 35 tons, 50 kilometers per hour. Ooh, moves along pretty good. And yeah, the turret, the armor's nothing to write home about either. Let's take a look at its ammunition options. Same 3 again. Okay. So I don't know. Take a look at that one. That looks all right. I don't nothing exciting about it. You know what I'm saying? Here's the Zaklam Tiger, and we can just preview that real fast. This one I expect will be annoying but die frequently. So keep that in mind if you're looking for an ATGM carrier. You can kill with it, but you only get 6 total ATGMs. There's only 2 extra ones inside the device. Let's see, Magok 6A. Okay. All right, hold on a second. I want to look at the 6 again. Okay. And the 6A. That is a totally different turret. Isn't it? Interesting. Still got the 105. Let's see, 49 tons. 48 kilometers per hour. Moves along pretty good. And let's see, let's go ahead and go to its modifications. I'm guessing we're going to get the same situation again. Yep, same situation again. And down we go. 6B, let's see, let's go across again. The Hovet. It's 163. Got it. Cute. The Magok 6B, which should be familiar. I think this one should be pretty straightforward. With ERA now, 8.7 ERA. And I'll bet you it has the exact same ammunition again, because it's got the 105mm again. No, this one gets an APFSDS. You're right, that is the interesting one. That should be fun. 337mm of penetration. Oh yeah. Very nice. I like. What's the speed look like? 48 kilometers per hour. It'll move along. Oh yeah. That's a nice little tank right there. That'll be fun to play. Now, I know that somebody just asked what the top tier MBT is. That's the Markava Mark 2B. But it only goes to 9.0. So the entire Israeli tech tree stops at 9.0. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Well, let's take a quick look at the rest of these here. Just do a preview and give a quick thoughts on it. They're definitely a lot of the things on the same theme. So you can see familiar design notes and everything like that on this shot called Gimel. Who knows? Maybe they will plan on a Markava Mark 4. Let's see. Still the 105. Still got the same, the newer ordnance options. And the Cockpit. It's another M163. And the Markava. Well, okay. Let me back up a second here. There's more to. It's an M163 with a Stinger launcher. I breezed right past that. Sorry about that. And the Stinger should be interesting. Let's see. We got the 70mm surface-to-air missiles, Stingers, which are, you know, they're pretty good. They're just not going to be that good against jets, by and large. It only has a start and it's basically an M163 with Stingers. Long story short on it. Okay, let's go to the Markava Mark 1B. This is already familiar. Many people have already got this tank in the game. Its protection is almost nil, so it's relying on the modules inside the tank to stop any really rounds coming in, or its strong angles. That said, it's got a good effective ammunition, it's got a good effective gun, and at 8.7, it should do pretty decent. And even a little bit faster than some of the others. And then there's the 2B, again, should be familiar to pretty much everybody. The 2B, with those, it's the angles that is the only thing that's going to save this tank. You know, there's hardly any armor, and of course the gun is still the familiar 105. Be interesting to see if they're going to expand this tree some more, and soon, or if they're going to wait until the next patch before they add maybe, you know, Markava Mark 4. That's Israeli ground tree summary right there. Any questions? Let me know. And let's go ahead and flip it around to major update. Okay, that was Israel. The U.S. gets the LAV-AD, and this one I can probably test drive. LAV-AD out here at 10.0. Interesting. Let's go ahead and preview it first. 7mm Stinger launcher, a 25mm Gauss cannon, smoke grenade launchers, and it's going to be a light chassis at 13.4 tons, 104 kilometers per hour. Ooh. You know, this is going to be fun. The 25mm cannon is going to make it interesting against ground targets. The Stingers will make it effective against many of the air targets. You know, you're laughing at the thought of North Korean tanks being added, but they're adding South Korean boats to America with that latest update, and we'll get to that in a moment. I could easily see North Korea being added just to give some variety to the various vehicles up there. The 25mm gun, by the way, 91mm of penetration, plenty to deal with nearly all the threats at 10.0. I'm sure there's something where I'm sitting there going, where we'll look at it and it will be impossible to kill by the 25mm, but it should do just fine. The fun one about this one is the Hydras. So you'll be able to put in a Hydra launcher right here instead of the Stingers. And you wouldn't think that's much of anything, but you know what? When you're trying to look for some high explosive damage and just kind of keep somebody tied up while you're reloading, those Hydras will be fun. Let's go ahead and test drive this thing. This will be our first chance to play Will It Float? Yeah. Let's put the boats in the American tank tree. That would be hilarious. Okay. Unfortunately, none of my keys are mapped, but I'll just go ahead and hit him with the 25mm cannon there. Oh, it's firing missiles at the same time I'm pulling the trigger. It's firing Hydras at the same time. Okay, that needs to be remapped. That really needs to be remapped. Let's go ahead and reload the Hydra so I can see what happens with this one. Oops. Okay. I'm gonna have to break down and actually remap the keys pretty quick. Okay, let me see. That's cruise control. Controls. I wonder if I just happen to have load. Okay, don't have one there, so let's go ahead and pop that out of there. Flip this to window, play. I'm just quickly jumping over into the regular client, so bear with me just a moment. As I do so, come on, come on. You can do it, computer. I know you can do it. I might be overloading my computer just a little bit between encoding the stream and everything else going on to do what I'm trying to do here, which is export my controls. Export the file. Okay. Today is the 12th. Okay, close that. Continue anyway. Exit out of here. Plunk. Kerplunk. Apologize for the delay on this one, but it's getting to the point where I have to actually be able to drive things. If I can't drive things, it's going to make it a lot more difficult to accomplish actually demonstrating what these things can do. Okay, there we go. Much better. All right, it's reloading right now. Let's see. There's my stingers. I can launch stingers while I wait for things to reload. Hello, aircraft. Where are you, aircraft? I hear... nope, nope. I hear you, but I do not see you. Is that a bird? Are those birds? Am I just seeing things? Those are birds. They have birds flying through the air. I'm sure. Surely not. That's a jet, however. Get another stinger ready. There's surely no way it's going to hit, though. I mean, come on, that's like ridiculously far out. Oh, it did hit. Okay, I'm pleasantly surprised. Okay, finish reloading so I can experiment some more. And these are all aspect. I can fire them up this guy's nose. Nice. Okay, that alone is going to make this interesting. The fact that they're all aspect in some way means that these might actually stand a chance of being interesting to play. Because a lot of times people will charge you straight down, knowing that your missiles, your air-to-air missiles, really can't engage them from head on. And these look like they're really doing a good job of it. Okay, that one's not going to make that turn. And back over, and now. And just being able to engage aircraft from the front with these things is great. Of course, you still have the 25 mm. You can engage all kinds of things with it. Let's see. Yeah, this is definitely working pretty well. Okay. I like it. This is going to be fun. I'll take a look for the Charlie in a little bit here. The active protection system will be a game changer for many reasons, I think. Now the real question is, can I sit in the water? and fire missiles, because sometimes you can get in the water but you can't shoot. This one you can. Okay, great. Out of the water, there we go.
Next target.
All right. Oh yeah, this 25mm will do just fine. Oh, yeah, very nice. I love the fire rate on it. It's awesome. And you can fire on the move. You don't have to be holding still. Even better. Oh yeah, this is going to be hilarious. I'm going to love this thing. Okay, so that's enough playing with it, down with that. Okay, next item. Let's see. T-55 AMD-1. I don't expect there to be anything exciting on that. You know, it'll be nice to have a good counter to a lot of those early helis. I actually... What was I playing the other day? It had to have been somewhere in the 10.0 range or so. And there was a couple of guys who were doing early spawns in helicopters. Didn't survive long, but they survived long enough to beat the snot out of my tank. Okay, so T-55, AMD-1. That's Russia, right? All right, Russia, Russia, Russia. There it is. Go ahead and preview this one. Oh, right, active protection. That's what's on this one that makes it so exciting. Got it. Okay, let's see. Nothing much. You've already seen that from the dev stream, I'm sure. I can't test drive it, so I'd feel bad about that. That's the problem with being a guy who's not on Gaijin's, in Gaijin's pocket. You don't get access to all the latest goodies. I believe that is correct, Depresso, but I don't know for sure. And let's see, Germany gets a term 3 and a Puma. Where's my Puma? Where's the Puma? Ah, there's the Puma. Oh, right outside of my test drive range. Oh, well. All right. This guy's going to be fun, but the fire rate is not... is good, but it's not amazingly good. So I expect it'll be a fun one to play. In the right hands, it'll be quite lethal. Let's go ahead and take a look at its... it's got no armor to speak of. Let's go ahead and take a look at its ammunition. Let's see... 121 millimeters of penetration, though, on its main APDS round. You start off with only 87 millimeters, so it's going to be a bear to spade. Once you get it spaded, though, 121 millimeters of penetration is nothing to sneeze at. Well, there you go. A weaponized there has the answer for you, Depresso. Oh, am I not showing up on the screen again? Let me see what's going on with that. Where's my camera? Oh, no. Let me see. Did my camera die? Yeah, it died. Poof. And that. There we go. All right. Now I'm back in shape there. Yeah, getting everything wired up was a bit of a challenge today. We'll just put it that way. There, Geeks. It's been exciting in that regard. Let's see, Germany's term 3 and the Puma. We took a look at the Puma. Where's the term? Term. I think it's term 3. There it is. And preview. Actually, we can test drive it, the Term 3. Hey, you know what? At this point, I might have to do that at some point in time, so you never know what my internet connection is going to suddenly do. This is while I'm at a totally different location. I even had a hiccup here, where I've got this high-speed, like 100 megabit connection up and down, and I had a hiccup here where the stream suddenly nearly kicked off. Okay, Term 3, let's see. The gun's effective. It's not terribly agile. Kind of just a little bit doggy slow. Not necessarily a bad thing. But it feels pretty good. I mean, it's not as responsive as I might have liked, but the gun being as effective as it feels like it is, I think might make up for it. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, it's sailing right through this tank here. And I'm not even taking the time to aim properly, so... Stabilized, very nice. Super easy to shoot. I am somewhat surprised, though, they don't have the whole thing rotating more. Of course, I might be a little bit outside of its spec range for that. Nice steady pace. It's got a good suspension. So it definitely keeps that even feel to it. The turret rotation, though, not impressive. That'd get me killed in a heartbeat. That is an enormous ammo rack. Yes, if you get popped in that, it's you got the specially built turret ejection system already pre-installed. Handles pretty well on rough terrain. Keeps moving. Oh, absolutely. 100% glass cannon material. But here's the question: will it float? And the answer is no, it will not float. Goodbye, Mr. Term 3. It is a juicy target. It's the stabilized gun and the high fire rate are going to make it really interesting. But I don't think it's going to be. It's not going to be overpowered in the classic sense. Depending on it's at what DUBR is it at 8.0. That's what's going to make it really good. Is that its location at BR 8.0. Most of the stuff in that area has focused more on armor and less on mobility. At least from my experience, the stuff, especially right below there, the 7.0s, 7.3s, 7.7s, and a lot of the equipment in the 8.0 to 9.0 range is the same way. Plenty of light vehicles as well, but a lot of things that you're going to be facing are going to be slower, less agile, and relying on armor that you are negating. So I think it's going to be a good one. Easy to kill, but a good one. British are getting the Black Knight. Let's go take a look at what we can see. I already know I got to go all the way to the bottom because I can't drive the thing. Preview. Challenger 2. That's right. If you like the Challenger 2, you're going to love the Black Knight. Let's see. Good overall protection. The angles are what's going to keep that turret safe, really. This is the type of angle that I think makes sense to my brain. The whole wedge thing they've got going on the German tanks, even though I know it works, doesn't make sense to my brain. And let's see, let's go ahead and go to modifications. What kind of ammunition does this thing have? Starts off with a really good APF SDS. Oh yeah, this is going to be fun. 564 millimeters of penetration. Get this thing hull down and just start popping things from afar. Pop, pop, pop. We'll be popping heads like crazy. And with active protection systems on it that you can see on top right here, that'll mean that you're going to be immune for a brief period from incoming ATGMs and incoming air-to-ground ordnance. Now, that does not make you immune to guns, so you're still going to get hit with APFSDS from all angles, but just being able to negate a lot of the ATGMs will make this thing way more survivable. Good on them. This will be a fun one. Okay, let's see what we got next. China. You know, Lucas, I'm sure there's a justification there. One of the justifications I can tell you is that if they make it so everybody can access everything, that's a significant change from the base client, and therefore you lose the ability to test many things on it, just because you have made significant code changes to make the system work in that different way. By the way, I'm just going to point out, nothing for Japan on air or ground. So, but yeah, that's one of the reasons that they'd have to code the client differently than the base client, and if they manage to accidentally release the dev server to the live client, it could cause untold amounts of hate and discontent. I would contend that they should just let people test drive anything across the entire range, so you know what you're expecting to get into. But, you know, I am not paid. I am just a YouTuber who has fun and loves talking to you guys. All right, China. ZTZ, they've not put anything out on these just yet. So we're going to be looking at these for the first time. Let's go ahead and preview the ZTZ 88A. Pretty clearly a Russian-inspired design. Or is it? I know that rounded turret throws me off, because the M60s also have rounded turrets, kind of like that. But theirs has got that flat plate right there, so this looks Russian design to me. Let's see, 57 kilometers per hour. It moves. All right, Depresso, we'll talk to you later. Thanks for jumping in. Okay, let's see. Rank 6, battle rating 8.7 should be pretty good. Let's take a look at what its ammunition looks like. The armor's decent. Ammunition's looking at some Heat FS, some Hesh, and you get a variable time fuse. All right, definitely send me links to you guys shooting down the down this aircraft with this high explosive round when you get it. And we have the Type 83 APDS, decent penetration. At this BR, very good actually. Should be a good one. Should be a good tank. Then we go on to the 96AP. And let's go ahead and just go straight into a test drive, because I want to see what this handles like. Switch this around to here, and okay. Alright, dealing with a family thing real fast. This will only take a second here. Okay. Okay. So let's see how this guy handles here. Okay, impressive. Also impressive. I think the gun is pretty darn effective so far. Let's see, what's it look like hitting that Abrams in the distance? 1,000 1001. Straight in. Okay. Not even a challenge, really. Dead meat. Alright, I have got a phone call coming in. I'll be back in just a second. Just going to mute here. All right, I apologize for that one. We're running out of cars today, and the kids need to borrow the car, or they're going to have to come and get it from me. So that is how life goes sometimes. Yeah, this is an effective gun, effective rounds. I'm liking it. Should do just fine. And of course, we're going to do the will it float. And will it? Will it? Whoosh. No, it does not float. Oh, right into the water. Can't even shoot underwater. That'd be too much fun. Yes, that'll make it one of the big positives for it is the active protection system. That is the big mechanic that's coming this patch is because the active protection system will be what does it for people. Okay, so that was the last one. There was another one. And that is the M3A3. Yeah. Okay. M3A3, just a new premium. And you're familiar with the M3A3. No surprises there. It's an interesting kind of a mixed patch, you know what I'm saying? Some things are new and interesting, and of course there's the active protection system, there's the Israeli ground tree, and then you have things like this. I have no clue why they decided to add this. Not that I'm complaining. The M3A3, you know, it's a premium. I don't even have to get it. Don't have to spade it. But I don't know why they added it. It doesn't make sense in my brain, at least. But that said, hey, M3A3 in the Chinese tree. Actually, in the Chinese premium line. Those are fun to play, and they are not stabilized, so you kind of got to just go to town and have some fun with them. Thanks, Yi. You have a great day, and glad you could be here for a bit. We'll talk to you next time, okay? Okay, so M3A3, nothing special about it. And what else do we have? France gets an ELC BIS 1961. See, nothing for Italy on the ground side, but just on the air. France is getting the, what was it again? ELC BIS, huh? This is an entirely new one for me. I don't know anything about it. Rank 4. Oh, this one. Oh, interesting. Nice little 90mm little dinky little thing. Let's go ahead and do the test drive here. I already tell you it has no armor. Nice. This is going to be fun. Fun little ad for France. That recoil, oh my, that's what's going on. The recoil is horrendous. Yeah, it shakes the whole tank back and forth. Let's see that one more time. And the suspension keeps it bouncing just a little bit longer. Woof. But the ammunition's effective, and it's going to be effective at its BR. I did forgot to drive it for some reason. I'm just an idiot. Let's try actually driving it this time. We'll go on the road just so we can kind of see. Ooh, very responsive in handling. Limited turret traverse, but it's good enough. It's not a casemate, but so you can definitely get away with more than you could with like Stud 3 or something like that. And it moves. Nice. Yeah, this will be fun. This will be a lot of fun. That is also true. France does need a filler AA gun. Absolutely. Yeah, this is going to be fun. I like it. I like it already. I'm going to have to get in there and I'm going to have to spade this thing because this feels like it's... I'm getting M56-5s is what I'm getting. Definitely M56-5s. It's going to be something you hide sneakily inside something. Like... oh, I don't know, a building. It's a little wide. I mean, obviously it's not as narrow as the M56. But I could absolutely see somebody sneaking like somewhere like right here and taking sneaky pot shots through this little hole in the building, or even getting inside the building somehow. Absolutely. All right, now I gotta ask, because I now need to know, will it float? So let's go determine that pressing question in life. Determining the amphibious nature of equipment is one of my greatest goals in life. Yeah, oh, it's going to be easy to kill. I mean, but at least I think won't be killed by light machine guns. Heavy machine guns, I'm certain, but light machine guns, I think it'll survive. Kabunk! And that is the ELC BIS at 6.7. It'll be fun. You know what, Lucas? I'm so used to being one shot that the idea of being one shot and dying is just kind of natural. After all, I'm an M18 player. Okay, and finally, the Swedes get a Sturv 105. Okay, so there we go, Sturv 105. Bloop, 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 bloop. Really, it looks like a British tank. That's what it looks like, with a 105mm gun. Should be fine. I mean, it's 50 kilometers per hour, it'll move. My guess is it probably won't accelerate terribly robustly, but it'll do just fine. Armor's decent for 9.0, but not great. I mean, no surprises. Stay hull down. Shocker. Okay, now the helicopters. Well, I don't even have to move countries for this one. Sweden gets its helicopter tree this round. And this is a literal shocker to me. I mean, I was not expecting Swedish helicopters at all for much time. Now, it helps that they're pretty much all copy-paste. You know, an Apache, which I don't remember what this is right now, but, you know, it's elsewhere in the game. RB-55C tow missiles, huh? All right, a few options there. RB-55Cs and adding a machine gun as an option there. Interesting. None of the helicopters are particularly fast, but what do the RB-55Cs do? 3.75 kilometer firing range at 9.7. You're going to be well within AA range if you're going to be firing, so you're going to have to be sneaky. It's not particularly fast. You know, just another helicopter. Same thing with this one, I'm sure. You can carry more RB-55Bs, which are basically the same. And let's see, let's back up another step. And I imagine this is going to be just an earlier version. Oh, that's giving me Vietnam War vibes right there. Anyway, so let's see what this thing can carry. Same thing, RB-52s, just the first versions. That said, that's all it gets, so you're at least going to start with those. So that'll be nice. And a 3.5 kilometer firing range, so you're still going to be dealing with all those normal things for this BR. And the HKP-3C. There's another bell. There's the Huey right there. Modifications, RB-53s. So at least they're providing them with vehicles that can hit tanks without too much trouble. I mean, obviously it's going to be... You're going to be really close at a 2 kilometer firing range. That's well within main gun range for most tanks at that BR. Okay, that's the Swedish heli tree. Russia's Ka-52 gets a detailed cockpit. Over in naval, let's switch it up. Switch it up here to a Blue Water Fleet. We obviously are getting the USS Arizona. Big guy. Now there's a whole... Excuse me. Tickly nose there. Anyway, there's a whole dev blog on the Arizona, so I'm not going to belabor it. It should be effective. It's going to be a really good American battleship. And, you know, it's iconic in all respects. The Arizona's career itself was actually... It was built well before World War II, but it wasn't really all that exciting of a career in terms of actual names, dates, and numbers. It is a good vehicle. It's a good ship. In fact, I believe the Arizona is the one that had a prostitute stowaway on board partway through one of its cruises. So that should give you some ideas of what kind of a history it has. But it also had served with distinction in every other respect, and its loss at Pearl Harbor was a catastrophe of epic proportions, with thousands of lives lost. So it'll be nice to see it representing for the U.S. in War Thunder. The other one was I had listed 3 there, wasn't I? Oh, crud. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? There's my changelog. I must hit the back button on accident. Nope, just one other one. The Kumquai. Kumquai? I don't know. Pronunciations are not my strong suit on this one. So let's go ahead and preview this one. We can actually test sail it and see what it does.
Gunners are searching for airborne and surface targets.
Okay. Definitely not the most responsive ship I've ever driven in a game.
The enemy ship sank.
A lot of anti-aircraft guns. Look at that. Basically, you are either being an anti-aircraft gun, or you're using those guns to take out surface targets. No torpedoes, as far as I can tell. Those shots down. Yeah, this would definitely be a... You wouldn't be taking out larger ships with this one. Not without just being the most lucky guy in the world. Come on, come on. Get on that speedboat. Get on that speedboat. You know you want to. Come on, come on. Kill it, 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 kill it. Ah, oh well. So, not a fast mover. It's pretty much just an AA boat at that point. I mean, you can take out smaller ships, especially if you or smaller boats, if you spend your time working with the alternate guns as well. But the 40 millimeter is only going to be limited effectiveness. It's cute. It's South Korean. It's an interesting change. I'll be interested to see if this means that more South Korean naval vessels or even equipment is going to end up in the U.S. tree, which, I mean, from a current political climate perspective, that's probably the best place for it to be. But cute little boat, but that's about it. See, Germany's got a new Markava Mark as a squadron vehicle, though. Let's see. Karl Marx. There's jokes in there up the wazoo, but I'm not going to make them. Karl Marx, a frigate. Why is this in the... Okay, well. Preview. I'll have to mess with this later and find out why in the world it's in the German tree. I imagine it's probably... I don't know. I don't know why. Cute little frigate, really. Does have torpedoes and depth charges. 100 millimeter guns and 37 millimeter guns. And if you're into naval and you're in a squadron, you can get it pretty quick. So, you know, depends on if you're liking your naval. Okay. Oh my. That was fast. Okay, come on. Okay, those HE shells are definitely effective against the little boats. So it's got a fair amount of AA gun covering fire. At least in effectiveness. And it looks like it's not terribly... Are they firing on a plane or are they firing at that boat way out there? I am still not quite used to the new, that whole splash location thing. I got kind of used to the, to having to walk the shots in with the previous system, but it looks like I'm still going to have to at this point. Okay, good. That's hitting about a midships. Okay. And I forgot about that thing.
Feindliches Schiff in Flammen.
It's a frigate. It's decently armed, and at 4.7, I think is what it was. It's not bad. Britain's getting the HMS Valhalla. Float a bunch of things to Valhalla with it, huh? Alright, let's see. Valhalla. Valhalla, where are you? There it is. Another premium. It does carry torpedoes. So that's a positive on it. A lot of guns, I noticed. A lot of different caliber guns.
Gunners are searching for airborne and surface targets.
Okay, let me see. It looks like it's going to do just fine. Now, why in the world isn't it showing me proper aiming for these torpedoes? Because I know that's not what's going to launch that ship right there. You'd really need to be kind of more like out here. Or did they get rid of the torpedo lead indicator?
Aircraft. Enemy ship on fire.
Okay. It's on fire. This guy's not killing things as fast as I would have expected.
The enemy ship sank. Aircraft.
Interesting. That's quite the interesting power difference between those the guns of that thing and the guns of the previous ship. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Japan is getting the Congo. Let's take a look at that puppy. And this is a big old battleship. Congo at 6.3 makes sense. Look at all this hardware on it. 36 centimeter guns, 36 centimeter guns, 15 centimeter guns, 5-inch guns, 25 millimeters. It's a powerfully armed ship. It is. 48 kilometers per hour is decent. Not the best, not the worst. And it's well protected all around. So let's go and take a look at its armor. Good protection profile to it. Very nice. That'll be a good addition for Japan to get a full-on battleship-sized vessel. And what's this? The Italy's Albatross F-543 or Albatros. Battle rating 3.7. You know, decent for the battle rating, but I think it's a little underarmed. I think the guns are a little high. It's high fire rate, as I recall, though, for 76 millimeters. So, it'll be interesting, but a trifle underarmed for naval battles, in my opinion. That's all the vehicles. Let's see if we can get into this location, Sun City. And let's see, let's bring something upper tier so we can... Not air realistic, come on. Custom battles, custom battles. Where are my custom battles? Okay, there's city. Is a Sun City not going to show up for me? I've had that pop up before. And it's not showing up for me. So I guess we're going to do this the old-fashioned way. We're going to make a lineup and we're going to go into ground RB. Okay. Don't need all of that. Definitely don't need all of this because it's going to be upper tier stuff, minimum. Okay, so... take that off. Okay, now we can start putting things together here. And do that. I am just guessing that I'm going to get into it when I jump into a ground RB battle. We're going to have to find out the hard way. Let's see. Halima chopper right there, and to battle. All right, we did get into Sun City, so that's a positive first sign. Let's go ahead and jump into Abrams. I'm going to start on this side so I can explore with minimal interference from anybody else. I'm not going to bother. Okay, hold on. Let's go ahead and just get this to what I actually need to drive around with. And Yes, I know. To battle. Okay, so I'm sure I've got bots up the wazoo. And some other players. Great, great. Not going to get very far, am I? Why is my reload so slow? I mean, yes, I'm short a person, but my reload's usually faster than this. Feels really slow. I mean, really slow. Alright, we can move again. Let's go ahead and pop some smoke there. And move off of this street. So obviously there's going to be some sniping issues on this side, where you're going to be able to see each other spawn right off the bat. That is bad design. Bad design right off the bat. Doing a sniping duel right off the bat is not the best way to start a match. Especially since it's not only possible, it's going to be common. Okay, otherwise, this has got a lot more open corridors than your typical arrangement. I wonder if this fence can be... Nope. Okay, let's see. Interesting, interesting. Ooh, I like the bridge looking thing here. That'll be fun. Let's see. Keep moving. Of course, if you get snuck up behind when you're sitting up on this little bridge, you are pretty well toasties. Because there's nowhere for you to hide. You have to literally drive over the hill. So don't get into any duels on this thing. Alley-oop. Look at the view, though. This is a pretty good, it's a good looking map, admittedly. Very good looking map. A lot of open area up here. Kind of a park here. Oh, hi! That's what I get for stopping for a look-see. I was sightseeing instead of looking for enemies. Good evening. How are you doing today? See, I don't know the Cyrillic pronunciation, so I'm gonna just have to apologize for not being able to pronounce your name. Usually I would try. And how are you doing there? And then Volker. Come on. Come on. The blowing things in the wind, are those are just pieces of paper, maybe? Debris of some kind. Are interesting. I was going to look underneath this bridge, too, by the way. Okay, it looks like it's got a normal underpass. Okay. Not a bad-looking deal here. How's everybody doing today? Let me know. I am watching the comments. So, ooh, what do we got there? That's just a bot, I'm sure, because he's driving like a bot. Yeah, nope, not happening this time. See if I can get to the point. Oh, looks like somebody's on the point. I guess I'm going to try to get to the point after all. Hey! Okay. That was not what I was expecting, but that's okay. I'm hoping to get into an airplane and kind of look at what the air area looks like. It's a pretty map so far. Okay, let's see. Got an F-5E. We're not going to bring him, but it won't do me any good because I don't think anybody's in the air. Or at least there's no enemies in the air. Okay, oh, look at this. The airports are looking nice. Okay, let's see. Terrain is... yeah. Not exciting. Yeah, definitely not the most exciting terrain.
Enemy forces have captured a zone.
Wow, we're getting our butts kicked, aren't we? Pretty nice visually. Yeah, really, it's a good looking map. It really is. Just the tactical options are strange. This long corridor over the east side where the two spawns can look at each other and snipe, not a fan.
We are losing.
Not a fan at all. But the city areas look pretty good. Yeah, the city areas look good. It's a good city map. Really, there's nothing negative to say beyond that. Okay, that's dead. Yeah, our bots are getting popped off, aren't they? Did I just have a missile go past me? I'm hearing... oh, yes I did have a missile go past me. Well, that explains that. I wasn't even paying attention to helicopters. Hell of a choppers. Bad day for me. Let's see. Yeah, no, the dev server only does the does things in the dev server. It otherwise doesn't do anything for you. The money you earn in it does not go to your main client. The vehicles you unlock do not go to your main client. It's literally just for the dev server. Yes, I realize there are no buttons assigned for those actions. I'm not terribly concerned. I'm just trying to look at the map. I'm not trying to spend all my time messing around here. Okay, there we go. I know which one fires my rockets. I know which one fires my machine guns. Okay. Little mark on my screen right there. I keep thinking it's a helicopter until I move my mouse. I'm not going to make it to A in time. But overall, decent looking map, but not making me the happiest I've ever been on maps. I like a good city map. I think city maps are fun. But I also recognize that this map has got issues. What do you think of it? Should we go for another round there? Oh yeah, thank you for all those camos. Really needed all those camos. Tons and tons of camos. We'll do one more in the on the Sun City map here, just to kind of explore a bit and see if I can actually spend some time without getting sniped right off the bat. Okay, these spawn locations make a lot more sense. By far, a lot better sense. Okay, so we've got a little crossover here. Good to explore that. It's a combination map, and it's trying to be all things to all people, but I don't think it succeeds because it's not a very good sniping map. That said, it does have longer engagement ranges within the city. This is a larger city than, say, Alaska, which is a really small city. I feel like, oh my heavens. Okay. Nope. You just keep on trying there. There we go. That was interesting. Of course, he was at a lot closer range than that far one. So that wall provides no protection. And therefore, you got to watch out for that. Okay, good to know. What have I got here? Let's say back on the ground. Okay. That elevated position is interesting, but how it interacts with that destroyable wall is the really tactically interesting part. And it's pretty clear that if you get onto that ridge up there, and they can get up there pretty fast, that you gain a real advantage. What am I doing firing Heat FS in an Abrams? That's absurd. Why in the world would I be doing that?
Attention to the designated grid square. Attention to the map.
I'll kill him. I'll do it. I wasn't paying any attention when I reloaded. I should have been paying better attention. That's all on me. Okay, so we're now in effectively an ineffective Abrams with Heat FS. So it's going to take multiple rounds to kill anything. Okay. Well, that was entertaining. Okay, so let's see if we can get a little exploration going. And ADATs will mean that there's no point in me being in a helicopter because I can't do anything against it. What the hell we have got handy? Yes, EDP, this is the dev server. And we're looking at the... I know EDP, and it's crazy, isn't it? I actually have to go to another location so I can get a decent internet connection. And then, of course, I'm doing it this morning instead of doing an evening like normal, but it's Saturday, so I'm just delighted as all get out. Glad I could be having some fun. Okay, there's an aircraft up somewhere. Right there, in fact. A-10. And I've lost him. Where's he at? There he is. Let's see how sturdy this A-10 really is. Howdy. See, my theory is that, of course, it would help if I, had a better pilot right now, but... And I feel like I'm about to get smacked. And one missile down. Okay. He was obviously playing more of the ground ordnance because he didn't try to turn fight me at all. Well, my theory is that the A-10 will actually be a tremendously effective dogfighter, especially against these jets, because the jets are just not that agile. Pull that. And come on. Boop. Dang it. Probably still. Yep, got him. And M247. Okay. I think the A-10 is going to be a ton of fun, and it might be tough to get just because of the numbers involved, but I don't think it's going to be that tough. I think it's going to be reasonable. That depends, however, on how Gaijin decides they're going to do RP going forward. And the whole grind in the game has gotten pretty challenging too, so there is that to keep in mind. Lucas, that's hilarious. I can't tell you how many times I've been like, oh, there's an enemy, there's an enemy. Oh, that's not an enemy, that's just where I sneezed on the monitor yesterday. Or as I like to say, huh, I've seen an enemy. That's you! Now there's hundreds of them! Come on, lock them up. Fine, don't lock them up, see if I care. I saw the A-10, come on, where is he? Where is he? I don't know how big the cap zones are around here. Okay, it looks like it's pretty small. So I should see him. He's here. So the question is, where is he? This is scary right here. Okay, that's a dead tank. Getting them locked up is going to be a challenge in this town, that's for sure. Okay, he took out one of those A-10s. Come Throw red in the sky and see if it hits. There it goes. Ah, then I lost it. Okay, there we go. I got a lock. Doesn't look like that. Looks like an angle of attack you're not supposed to be having in an A-10. Are you turning around? You're going to just stay way out there. That's not an A-10. What is that? That is a dead jet is what it is. Yeah, okay. F-4C. Okay. Surprisingly, there hasn't been any client crashes. You know, it's funny that Sweden gets it, but it's all copy-paste. I mean, to be honest, you're not getting a whole lot in it. Not all copy-paste. They had to add a few new missiles, I believe. But it's real straightforward, easy stuff to do. And I'm here in that helicopter, and I want a piece of it. Come here, helicopter. And now there's a jet. I hear a jet. I want pieces of you. I want you in pieces. Okay, come on. I'm hearing it. I'm hearing it more. It's going to be low. Right there. Nope, not happening. That brings me to a slightly different question. Chat's unavailable. Okay, side check.
Attack the A point.
Okay, so for many of the tanks that don't have a lot of oomph, you're going to have trouble getting up on this little ridge. Oh, for heaven's sake, seriously? I can't even knock over a mailbox with this thing. Okay, up a loop. There we go. Okay, nothing's on the circular track. That's gonna be fun. I think if they're probably gonna add races to that thing, because that'd be hilarious, having races on that track right there. War Thunder Extreme Racer Edition. You know, it's awfully quiet here. I don't like this. Let's just pop in and out and see if we can attract some attention. There's a jet. Can't even see the lines for this one. Okay, there we go. Here's the line. And I'm out of here.
Attack the A point.
And my goal is to get right over here and hide. Okay. Yeah, not a chance for me. Didn't even get a chance. I mean, he was already looking straight at me when he went by, so clearly that was not a good hiding spot. We took a look at it. I am not high enough tier to get into it and drive it, but you know, that's all right. It is what it is. Okay, whoop, not that one. Let's go to the close one.
Attack the A point.
Okay. And it looks really good, I might add, EDP. It really does. Haha! Somebody else killed him. And a Vickers Mark 7. Okay, so the question is, can I actually get this area covered in time to get to the city and be able to make any difference? Yeah, somebody was saying it was like 1,600 meters per second was the limit, and then it couldn't do anything after that. Whoops, wrong one. Yep, I remapped my keys from earlier because they were wrong. Now I gotta get used to the to flying my normal keys again. Okay, that's gonna be a tight fit. You could probably get a helicopter down there, but it's a tight fit. And there's some guy with an M1 Abrams who just gave away his position, but it won't do any good because that was a bomb. And that's everything for that match. Oh,
Forces have captured a zone.
so that's Sun City. Yeah, not a bad map. I've seen worse, honestly. Okay, let's look at what else is going on here. Let's see, some minor adjustments to bomb weights and numbers of that. Yes, I noticed that earlier today, and I'm like going, really? 666 subs? Really? I'm so evil, apparently. I am the evil YouTuber. So a bunch of like minor corrections to ordnance weights and things like that. Some armor changes, some bug fixes. A lot of them are minor. The BTD-1 has had its 250-pound bomb setup removed and the 1,600-pound bomb added. Let's see, shell changes there. Let's see, naval guns, shell dispersion ellipse adjusted. Flooding mechanics have been reworked for all ships. The capacity of the drainage pumps is now evenly distributed over the entire vessel. The time of pumping water depends entirely on the serviceability of the pumps and the amount of water in the interior of the ship. In general, the pumping time of one compartment has been reduced, and the pumping of several compartments at the same time has become more leveled. Okay, that makes sense. Set of Israeli decals. Profile icons for modern tankmen. Some new camos. And that's kind of everything. I'll just quickly do one more run through of all the stuff in the patch so that there'll be kind of a quick summary for everybody. And we can go from top to bottom. We'll just do US first here. We've got in the Army, we have the LAVAD. Fun little guy. Speedy. The Stingers are interesting in their all aspect, and it can mount a pod full of rockets, which don't do much, but they're interesting and entertaining. So that's interesting. Bomb models for the new jets. Let's see. I can quickly check here. Most of this is about bomb weights. None of it's about the actual models themselves. So I don't think they're making any changes to the bomb visual models. LAVAD is going to be fun, fast. It floats, interesting. Okay, U.S. gets no changes to helicopters. For aviation, they're getting the A-10a, and we'll just quickly pop into a test flight for that while I talk about it. From watching how it was used, people are definitely using it in its classic ground attacker loadouts. I actually have been flying it in test drives without any ordnance to see how it handles, and it handles very well, surprisingly well. It does not retain energy as well as I had hoped, but it does maintain decently during a turn. And you can pop takeoff flaps while you're flying to really get a tight turn out of it. The 30mm cannon is super effective. The American tech tree retains the AH-64A, but it will no longer be for sale. Um, it has been moved to the Israeli tree instead. And of course, you got the on the A-10, you got the classic sound, which we all know and love. And it does a good job of it too. Nice long bursts like that. You're not supposed to do that. Burst that long, I don't think. And it does. It'll flop over and it'll turn pretty darn tight, especially when it's got some speed. Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm gonna be asking in the long term is how does it perform? How does it perform against things that are down tiered against it, or that it's not down tiered against it? That said, that gun really rips apart tanks. You know, especially if you get a downward angle into the roof, this thing really does the business. And it does turn. It handles well. I'm going to be entertained to see. When I get it, I'm going to see about pulling one of my buds in. I'm going to dogfight against him in whatever planes he wants to bring, props or jets, just to see what it will do. Good overall. You'll enjoy that. I think it's going to be a blast. Will it be meta? No. It will never be meta, but it will be entertaining as all get out. And I'll have a blast flying it when it comes in. Let's see. That was it for the U.S. Air Trees. Fleet, they get the Arizona. Big ship. Looks good. And on the and over here on the Kim Kwai, it's a South Korean vessel. Not that fast. Not that heavily armed. It's actually probably more useful as an anti-aircraft platform than anything else, but its multiple guns will deal with small targets. Let's see, the Germany is getting that new Puma right here. Cute, fast fire rate, interesting, no armor, easy to kill. And it's also getting the Term 3, which when I took it for the test drive, was interesting to say the least. I think it's I'm not necessarily convinced it's overpowered, but at 8.0 it might be. It's not that fast, but the gun is tremendously effective and it does stay on target regardless of how fast you're driving. Very interesting. I think it'll be a good one. Let's see, Germany, nothing new in helicopters. Aviation, they're getting 2 aircraft, the Su-22 M3K, which is already familiar based on the Russian tree, and the MiG-23 MLA, also familiar already. So you can take a look at those. And I don't believe they are getting, they are getting the Karl Marx as a squadron vehicle. Not terribly excited about it. It doesn't feel as effective as its size indicates it should be. Just put it that way. But that'll be interesting when I get to that point. I'll get it eventually. Nothing new in, let's see, Russia. Air Army is getting a new, they're getting something. What are they getting? T-55 AMD-1, and they're getting the active protection system on it. And for some reason, I'm not finding it again. AMD. Here it is. It does get the active protection system on it. Otherwise, it's pretty garden variety. Nothing exciting about it except that active protection system. So it's a good one to introduce that system with. I don't think they get any other new vehicles in there. No new helicopters and nothing new in aviation. I don't think. Okay, nothing in their fleet either. Britain is getting the Black Knight. Active protection on a Challenger 2. All things good. This will be a straight up improvement over your basic Challenger 2. So enjoy that one. A lot of fun. It's going to be a hold down monster. Voila. And let's see, do the Brits get anything else? Don't remember the Brits getting anything else. Let's see. Nothing in aircraft. Just that in ground. Oh, they get the USS or HMS Valhalla. Right here, another premium. Again, I'm not. It's okay. It's got torpedoes. It's got a decent amount of firepower, though not a ton. Big target, is what I think it is. That is also true, Lucas. And up-tiering the A-10 definitely will be a challenge for it. Okay, Japan's getting just naval this time, as I recall. Blue water, the Congo. Big boom, big guns, big effectiveness. You know, its one real weakness in real life was that their radar was awful compared to the American. And if I remember correctly, I'm not even sure the Congo had a radar, but I think it did. And the American radars were much better and could put rounds on target far better. That said, it's big, it goes kablooey, and it does things well. In War Thunder, this is going to be a beast to take down. Let's see, that's it for Japan. China has got several new things. The J-8B does not seem to be showing up in my client here, so I can't show you it. But the J-8B was also with the 81192 camo, and that was the plane used to intercept an American reconnaissance plane off the Chinese shores. And, well, there was a collision, and that pilot perished. It's apparently a big cultural thing in China, one of their national heroes of sorts. Army, we got several new things. The ZTZ-96A. Interesting. I believe it's got an active protection system, but otherwise not hugely different than what's already there. They also have the ZTZ-88A, and you can kind of go in that same vein with that. Nothing that's really new compared to what's already there. And I feel like I'm missing something. Oh well, that'll come to me later, I'm sure, after the stream's over. And let's see, China, and the M3A3. That's what I'm missing. They added another M3A3 to the Chinese tree right there. It's basically garden variety M3A3. Nothing exciting about it, but it's cute and it's premium. You know, if you're low tier in China, it might help you. I wouldn't go out of my way for it, but maybe you would. I don't know. Italy really got not a lot. They got an F-104 SASA and no ground. There's several nations that really got very minor amounts of stuff in at least the first dev server. It's an F-104. I mean, that's kind of the long story short. And it can carry some Espadé and AIM-9L air-to-air missiles. And of course, oh, how did I miss that? France, I'll just address it here. America and France both got B-26s. The Americans is the B-26B, the French is the C, and it's right here, and they're otherwise pretty much identical. I'm going to stand up for a moment. Sorry, my tushy's getting a little sore there. Chair's a little hard. Fun aircraft, iconic, should be interesting. I'll have fun. I'll spade it, no question in my mind. Good ordnance loadouts too, even a couple of 2,000 pounders. It'll be really fun in ground RB as long as you don't have any enemy air presence. Let's see, that's that. For France, that's pretty much it, as I recall. No, they had one more. ELC. ELC. Where's the ELC? There it is. Right there. This thing's super cute. Teeny tiny. Only has a tiny, small turret rotation off the front arc, but it's not like a casemate where you get no turret rotation. So, it is kind of strange that Britain didn't get one. I didn't think about that, ADP. But this is going to be fun. The gun's super effective, and it does a good job. So I'm looking forward to that one. And Sweden, let's see. Sweden gets a whole helicopter tree. All pretty much cut and paste stuff, or at least very similar to existing vehicles in the game. So, just keep that in mind. It's a helicopter tree. They've got helicopters. They also get a Sturv 105, which is decently armored and decently effective. I think it'll be a good all-rounder. Already talked about the helicopters while I was in Sweden there. Let's see, Russia there. Naval. Italy did get the Albatros F-543. There's a dev blog on it. There it is. The Albatros. And, of course, we played a few matches on Sun City. All right, last chance. Any other questions before we call it a day? I am watching for comments right now. By the way, before you guys bail off, tell me what you think of the video and audio quality. Is it working pretty well for you? Is everything looking nice? I believe, except for that one hiccup I had right towards the beginning, that this has really been a top quality as far as visually goes stream, and I hope the audio has also been good. So let me know what you think. Game is a bit loud. Okay. I can always turn it down a little bit more. Okay. Excellent. Oh, I do not want to be here. This is exactly where I do not wish to be. Yes, I very much do not wish to be here. I don't know why it's... That spawn arrangement there is wrong. Okay, audio's good, video's good. All right. Okay, so this is probably going to be more how I'm going to be doing my streams in the future. I've got a place I can go and spend a few hours in an evening every once in a while, or even on a Saturday to stream with good, solid internet. That seems to be just doing the business. That is an actual spawn. Seriously, those two spawns, you can literally look at each other across that distance and snipe at each other as you spawn in. It's the dumbest spawn arrangement I think I've ever seen. They at least ought to put it behind a building or something, you know? And I've been kind of curious about this this little freeway entrance ramp here. I want to see what it looks like. Okay. Okay, this is definitely not a realistic entrance on any one I've ever seen. You would never have this arrangement in any real city.
Allied forces have captured a zone.
Yeah, that's going to be one of my comments when I get it onto the thread and comment about my experience with this particular dev server. That being an awful spawn arrangement. Okay. Interesting. Well, you get this pretty good view over here, but you don't gain any real tactical advantage unless you pretty much have control of the area below you. And of course, you're also exposing your position by doing so. Now, it does have a few advantages if you can get maneuvered properly. You can use these areas for solid cover, and it's nearly a full coverage of your entire tank. Oof. I don't even know where I just got hit from. Okay, there we go. That's where I got hit from. Goodbye. Alright, let's get it moving here. I want to get over there and see if I can... Whoops, something's not working on my keyboard now. There we go. Got a few things that just ran past there. I should wish I'd had a better opportunity to pop them. As it is, I should be able to intercept. See nothing there. I'm thinking those are all bots, though, with the way they're driving. Already about in that spot right there. Okay. Oh, this is going to be nice. Effectively, a little bit of covered area that I'll be able to overlook Alpha with. Okay, nothing there. Now let's get popped up here. Goodbye. Now, anybody else? Okay, nobody else so far. I'm going to stay low because I don't want to be just showing off my position here. Back up and see if I can get a visual on whoever might be over here. That's what ticks me off about those 20mm cannons. It doesn't matter that I just popped that guy right in the barrel. It doesn't matter. He could just 20mm me until I can't do anything to him. He's trying to repair while sitting on the cap zone. So I'll drop artillery on him. Nice. And now I can move. Okay. I know I'm not dumb enough to just sit there and wait for him to come around the corner for me. Alright, come on. Move, 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 move. Problem solved. Now I expect somebody to come from this direction. And soon, like right there, Thunderloader horizontal turret.
The enemy is winning.
Good deal. Repair faster, please. Okay, now we're going to go up here. And I'm going to see... How did we end up with all these dead bots, anyway? Alright, so we're going to see if we can get just popped over into A. Okay, this is not the most efficient place to be, obviously. Definitely harder than normal to maintain that positioning. Oof. Why is this thing fighting so hard? Cannon breach, good. Goodbye. And something just tried to hit me. I bet it's the same guy that I just killed a few moments ago. Because that's what it feels like. It feels like that guy is trying to chase me down again. Okay. Let's see. Oh, there he is. That looked like some low-level Swedish thing. That's because it is some low-level Swedish thing. Alright, straighten it up. Alright, big light, huh? I just ran over that striker. You're right, it was the striker. That was entertaining. Alright, let's see. Let's go and get my M1A1 here. See if I can get... This one's spaded, so I shouldn't have near as much... Oh, wait a second. I did it again. I forgot to get my APF SDS out. You're right. It's a small cap zone, so I'm going to drop it right in the middle of it. I expect him to stick his nose this way, to be honest. Okay, this is annoying. I don't know. Can I get in there in time to decap? I don't think so. I'm the last guy. Well, you know what? Okay, yeah. Somebody will spend their time killing bots. Oh, crud, I just did it.
We've lost. But next time, victory will be ours.
Oh, that's hilarious. All right, so that's everything. I don't know. World War mode seems to be a little bit on the downside right now. And some of that might be just the fact that, you know, world events are causing further issues and things like that. But I'm not expecting one this next patch. That doesn't mean I'm right, but I'm not feeling it so far. All right, then. I think that's everything for today. Thanks, everyone, for joining me. EDP, glad you got in at last. And you all have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you in War Thunder.